Hello, everybody. I am Sean.
And I'm Amber.
And we are the couple that grills together. And today, we're going to have a good cup of coffee and talk about our 10 favorite things about keto. So we've been doing it how long now for Amber?
Little over 2 months.
A little over 2 months. And again, so far, well, first thing I want to say, we have no medical background. Let's get that clear. We're just telling you our experience about going down the keto road. And so that's what we're doing today, telling you our 10 favorite things about being on keto. So everything's going good. So we thought we'd go over our list of 10 favorite things and start at number 10 and work our way up to number 1. So number 10 is the desserts. Like I said before, you're not doing without sweets on keto. No siree. There's plenty of people out there that have keto recipes for desserts that fall right in line with everything you need to do. And they're very sweet. And then they have keto ice cream out there. We still get that.
Yeah. But you don't want it to be an everyday part of your life, because part of keto is getting past the need to have something sweet all the time. It truly becomes a treat to you, not something that you expect to have all the time.
And I would say I've gotten past that, because I was probably the worst one that every night when we were on our regular calorie count diet, every night I had to have something sweet afterwards. And it wasn't much. It was an Italian ice. But lo and behold, I did not know how many carbs were in Italian ice. So we had to cut that out. But no, we have sweets maybe twice a week. Mm-hmm. But you can have them. They're there. So you don't have to go without by any stretch of the imagination.
And we make them ourselves.
Yes. Besides the ice cream.
Yeah.
But there are some good homemade recipes out there for ice cream too.
And we'll be venturing into that soon.
But everything else we do make ourselves on the desserts. So that's been nice. All right. So number 9, which is something we're doing tonight, homemade pizza. And let me tell you, it is good stuff. To me, so much better than anything you can call up over the phone and get in 30 minutes or less.
Definitely.
You can put whatever you want on it. I mean, we have homemade pizza on the dough, what's the dough called?
So we use 2 different ones. The traditional fathead dough that if you go on Pinterest, you can find a million recipes for it. But Carolyn Ketchum has a modified fathead type of dough. It's called magic mozzarella dough. And Sean is obsessed with that dough. So that has become our go-to and it still has, like I said, it's a modified fathead. It does have mozzarella in it, but it has some other stuff, and it doesn't have all that mozzarella in it. And it is really good, and that's what we're having tonight.
Yeah, and one of the other things that we just had the other night that Amber found the recipe was pizza in a bowl. No crust at all. It's just pizza in a bowl, and it was great. It was great.
That was really good.
All right, so number 8, coffee. You're not doing without the good coffee. So, of course, you do have to watch your carbs and calories. Mm-hmm. So in the morning when we have coffee, we have black coffee. But in the evening, like right now, we have coffee. Mine has, and this is what we basically have each night. We got a tablespoon of butter in there. We have a tablespoon of coconut oil, a tablespoon of MCT oil, and a teaspoon of the monk fruit sugar. And then we have 2 tablespoons of the nut pods.
And collagen.
And then I put a tablespoon of the heavy whipping cream in mine, just to make sure I get my fat ratio right. And that's one thing that doing the coffee, like, not only is it great, I mean, before this, I would have never dreamed of putting butter in my coffee. But boy, is it good.
It is so good. And one thing that you hear a lot of people talk about, though, that they don't like putting all that stuff, and making like the bulletproof coffee, because of the texture of it and how everything, all the oils separate. We have a Ninja coffee bar, and it has the frother on the side.
Yeah.
And so Sean uses that to froth our coffee up
Yeah.
really well, and it mixes everything. It mixes everything perfectly. So we don't have that stuff floating to the top. We have a really nice foam whenever it's done.
Right. Nice foam. Because, yes, before I do it, you see all the oils and stuff on top. But once you mix it up real good, I mean, it's great.
And it doesn't look very appealing before he does all that.
But this is the best way to make sure you're getting all your fats in for the day. Because, again, the biggest thing we're finding about keto is that fat to protein ratio is so important. Yes, you still want to watch your calories, but we've even seen that you want that fat to protein. If you got to go just a tad over on calories to get the fat right, that's what you want to do, at least what we're seeing.
Yeah, and Rich, it's going to be different for everybody, but when we first started, before we were actually counting our macros, we were getting too much protein, and our percentages were not correct, but we didn't really pay attention.
And we weren't doing coffee like this.
No, we weren't.
Before then.
We weren't paying attention to the protein content and stuff. And when we actually started looking, we were blown away, and we realized, oh wow, that's kind of the issue. We're not getting enough fat in our diet.
So in at number 7, we get to embrace our inner carnivore. So Amber and I, my wife, does not hide the fact that she loves to eat meat. Steak and lobster are her favorite things. So there's the best thing, and we say that because we've always grilled the whole time. But the biggest thing about the difference is on here is we get more meat per meal, mainly because we are doing the intermittent fasting. But we do, instead of splitting a pork chop or a steak, we get to each have a whole steak, a whole pork chop. When we do our brisket and stuff, we can have more of it. Like our pizza tonight, we can put on the pepperoni, the Italian sausage. I mean, there's just so much more we can do with the meat that we didn't get to do before because of the calories of it. You had to be so careful. And probably one of the biggest differences you get with the meat is now you're not trying to find that meat that is so lean. You want the meat with the fat on, which is, with steaks and stuff, that's, good marbling is the best. So you get to have that, where before we'd have to buy the real lean stuff or cut it off.
Yeah. And so I love, like he said, I love eating meat. I'm a meat eater. I don't think that I can have a meal without having some sort of meat, unless it's waffles. You give me waffles, and I will not ask you to throw some meat in there. But other than that, you will never see a meatless Monday in our house. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, and at number 6, more energy. So I'll tell you where I see the more energy. First off, I'll tell you my biggest difference I see in talking about carbs real quick. Carbs would put me to sleep in a heartbeat. I never really ate lunch before, because if I ate lunch and had a sandwich or something, I mean, it didn't take many carbs to put me to sleep. But at night, after we got through eating, that was it. I was done. It's time for me to go to bed. I'd fall asleep on the couch.
If he had a high carb meal.
Right. But that's the biggest difference I see in energy, because I've cut out a bunch of those carbs. I'm not as tired. The second place I see it, which I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, especially with being in Florida and being as warm as it is when I get to in the latter part of the day, even though I've been outside most of the day, I'm not really tired at the end of the day. I'm hot and sweaty, and I may stink a little, but I'm not tired. And like right now, we've been working all day. I've been outside a lot of it. We're doing a video. I'm not tired. I feel good. What about you, Amber?
Oh yeah, the energy level is a lot better for me. When we were losing weight on Noom, that was one thing people kept saying is, oh, you got to have so much more energy. And I was thinking, no, I don't. And I was like, that's crazy because I thought that should have come along with it, but I didn't have it. I'm not a morning person, but I do wake up feeling more refreshed in the mornings. I'm not dragging when I get out of bed, and I don't have that afternoon feeling of I wish I could go curl up in the corner of the office and take a nap. I just have a steady energy throughout the day, and that's something that I've not had in a really long time.
All right. So coming in at number 5, mental clarity. So on that, what I would say is that yes, I don't have the foggy brain, I guess they call it. I don't wake up with it. Even when I do get tired, it's not like getting foggy on me. I don't know how else to explain it. I just I'm
at least I think clear. My mind isn't. I'm able to focus. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that my mind is going 90 to nothing constantly.
It does.
So it's really easy for me to lose focus because I'm constantly thinking about all these different things. But I have noticed that I am able to keep my focus a lot better since starting keto.
All right. Coming in at number 4. Weight loss. And grant you, it's not number 1 because again, there's a lot of things about keto besides just weight loss. But so we'll tell you. So I'll throw my numbers out there for you. So for almost a year, I've been between 250. When we started this, I was 320, I believe it was. For a little bit over a year, I've been between 255 and 260, and we were stuck there. And we couldn't get out of that. And we'd gotten down, because I'd gotten down to 232. And then the holidays rolled around. We went back up, and then I went up to between 255 and 260, and we were stuck there for almost a year. I mean, I've been right there, and I couldn't break it no matter what I tried until we got on keto, and also not just on keto, because I still recommend you going into it slowly. So if you do, you probably won't see weight loss right off the bat, because it wasn't until we got the app and started tracking our fat to protein ratio real good on Carb Manager. That's when I saw the biggest difference. So now, in less than a month, I have lost a little over 10 pounds, 10.8. So now I'm down to, I believe it's 244 even. So those are the numbers. I'm throwing them out there to let everybody.
He's throwing those numbers out there.
But I did. I mean, I'll just be honest. So when I first started, I needed to do something. Was actually a few years ago when we lived in Houston. I got on the scale one day and I was at 345. And I was like, "There's no way I can enjoy my life being this big. No way." So I knew I had to do something, and that's when I started weighing myself. And little by little, Amber will tell you, I started doing things different and started cutting certain things out that I knew was making it worse. And I was weighing myself every day, and that's how come I would know, hey, I shouldn't be doing that. I can tell when I do that, it makes me obviously heavier. But we weren't doing anything serious. It wasn't until we got moved back to Florida that we got serious about it. But so those are the numbers for me. Amber, how's it? I know Amber's not going to throw out numbers, but how's the weight loss going for you?
It's going great. So whenever we started, like I said earlier, we were not tracking our macros, so we didn't have our percentages right, and so we weren't seeing the scale move at first. But we were seeing a difference in the way that clothes fit, and then obviously just the way we felt so much better.
Yeah.
And then one day we had eaten something, and we looked at it and we were shocked at how much protein was in this particular thing, because it seemed to us that it would be more fat. And so we said, you know what, we need to start tracking
It actually
that.
had way more protein than
Yes.
fat, and we were shocked.
And so we downloaded the Carb Manager and we started tracking that. And as soon as we did that, we started losing some weight. And then we added the intermittent fasting 2 weeks ago, and we fast for 20 hours a day. We keep our eating to a 4-hour window. And as soon as we did that, that's when we really started seeing the difference. And so I am now at about 10 pounds too.
Right.
That I've lost.
Again, we stay right there.
Yeah.
If I'm losing 10 pounds, she's going to lose 10 pounds. Now, we'll say on the intermittent fasting, that's something you want to go into slowly. And we've told each other when we started it, if we get hungry, we're going to go ahead and eat. We're not starving ourselves. We're not doing this to starve ourselves. So if we get hungry, we will eat. The fact that Amber, again, I use her as an example because she's just hadn't been able to do it. The fact that she can go that long without eating and not beat somebody up is amazing. Not throat punch somebody.
That's true.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
So
I can't deny it. Because like before, when I would get hungry, if I couldn't get something to eat right when I started getting hungry,
hold that thought, because we'll get to that. So coming in at number 3, though. Number 3, reduced aches and pains. Reduce aches and pains. So for me, obviously, one of my biggest things is my knees. I can tell you, just losing weight, period, since we started even noon, that's been a huge difference. But as far as being on keto, some of the biggest things I noticed is my shoulder, because of how I may lay in bed, does not bother me nothing like it did beforehand. I'm able to get up when I get out of bed and not feel like I got to warm up necessarily beforehand. Where before you had to kind of get everything going before you get going real good. What about you?
So that's been a huge difference for me. Because of my car accident several years ago. Ever since then,
Mickey's chewing on a bone. If you hear that, we're gonna have to get him to quit so he's not so loud.
Ever since then, I have had a lot of issues with my neck and my back. My neck primarily, and there's not a day that goes by that since my accident that I have not been in pain with my neck, especially. And so what I have noticed is that I don't have that pain all the time, which I know, obviously, I have issues with the structure in my neck and my back. But obviously the inflammation is going away, which does play a major part in the pain. I had headaches at least 4 times a week. And they would originate mainly because of my neck hurting. And I was taking goodies at least 4 times a week. Some weeks I had it every single day. I was taking something. And now since and this is from 2 months ago when we started keto, I have maybe had to take goodies maybe 4 times in a 2-month period. That is such a welcome thing. I never thought that I would be in this position because I had since I had my accident, I just had resigned myself to the fact that that's what my life was going to be like, was just have to deal with the pain and go on, because I don't take prescription medication for that stuff. I just deal with it and press through. And because of keto, I'm not even having to press through anymore because the pain has subsided so much. That is just a huge blessing.
And tell you what a difference that makes. You can't see her because she's not on camera. She's not. It'll still be a while before because it's hard for me to want to get on camera, but I knew one of us had to do it. but she's tearing up talking about it. I mean, that's what a difference in her life it's making. So again, there's a lot more to keto than just the weight loss, and that's a perfect example of it. So now we'll go to number 2, which is mainly Amber, and she can finish her story because it's about her being hangry.
So no more hangriness. The hangry is gone. And when I got hungry, like I was trying to say before, I would go from being completely happy to feeling hungry and turning into a psycho in just a few seconds. I mean, I would tell Sean sometimes, I'd say, Sean, you got to give me something to eat. If I was busy taking care of a customer, or if we happen to be riding in the car somewhere,
right.
and it hit me, I'd tell him, you're gonna have to pull.
Let me tell you something. Some of them car trips were not good when she got hangry and there was nowhere near to eat. Especially if we were, like when we lived in St. Louis and we'd be traveling to Colorado, going through parts of Kansas, especially the flat part on the west side of Kansas. Yes, there's nothing
for miles and miles and miles, and I'd be hungry and I'd be needing food. And everybody that knows me knows this about me. I mean, it is a running joke in our family with Sean's parents, with my sister, with my niece, that I get hangry. But that's gone. I mean, it has been such a huge blessing to not have that feeling and to feel satisfied. I've never known my entire adult life what being satisfied between meals really was. It's completely new to me, and I am so thankful for it.
Yeah.
Sean's thankful for it too.
Yes, I am very thankful for it. So, coming in at number 1 is a very simple one. It's doing it together. So like we talked about in our other video, when you can do something and do it together with somebody that you love, it sure makes it a lot easier on you. Because you're both, I mean, we cook a lot more together now. I mean, we do. We literally do everything together. We thought we did everything together beforehand, but I mean, Amber still does the majority of the cooking, I would say. But I mean, I'm in the kitchen doing something else usually, and then of course I have to take the pictures and stuff. But
I'm not in there by myself. He's right there beside me.
No, especially when it comes to the even though this will be our first holiday on keto, when we were doing noon, I was in the kitchen for the holidays helping out.
Yeah.
Because we did things different than normal. So when you can do something together with somebody that is supportive, and I know if you have human kids, it's a little bit harder to get things done, to get everybody on the same page. But with keto, it is still very easy to fix that big meal for everybody, and you get to eat the same stuff, just maybe not exactly how they're eating it.
Yeah. It's just fun doing it alongside Sean.
Yeah.
And he's a cheerleader to me. I don't have the meltdowns on keto that I had on noon because I stayed hungry all the time. So, there were plenty of times when I was not seeing progress and I was starving and I just wanted to sit down and eat whatever I wanted to because I wanted to feel satisfied, wanted to feel full. And Sean was there to, give me support and talk me down off the ledge. But with this, it's so fun. Sean's my best friend. I love doing everything with him.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our top 10 favorite things about keto. We love doing it. Keep watching us. And everybody have a great evening because everything's better together. Cheers.
Cheers.
Smacking good coffee right there, baby. Smacking good.
Good stuff.
Love you.
Love you.
Anywhere, been anywhere.